gon' get these drinks out here. I got money, so they put it in the bag. I'm pulling off all the tags and pulling off in a jag. Fuck being broke, cause broke niggas is mad. Get a job with your broke ass and get it out the hoe's ass. I go fast when I'm riding through the city lights. I'm from the Bay, West Coast with your city like new Nikes, fresh jeans, and a snapback.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm a vibe, you a vibe, we should vibe. So you should what? You should like, comment, share, and subscribe, but only if you want to, only if you want to, only if you want to. If you watching, that's really all I appreciate. Everything else is extra, and I appreciate that too. Okay, y'all already know we back for another story time, period. And as y'all can see from the title, actually, I don't even know what I'm titling this. But y'all can see the title, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all kind of get an idea. So I know somebody had asked me a while ago to do like a story time about a time where I had to like defend Dylan or something. So I'm about to give y'all story time. Now, I did tell a story time a while ago when I first started about how I had got into it with them daycare people because some shit had happened. Y'all, I had to take that off my channel. I'm gonna retell that story time. So if you saw it, I'm gonna tell it again. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Okay, this is a different incident. So yeah, y'all, so this was the year before COVID. So Dylan was going to second grade, right? Yes, second grade. So he's excited to go to second grade. He had been in the same school since kindergarten. So, you know, he kind of know all the teachers. He know everybody. And he was basically telling me like he was hoping that he wasn't going to get this specific teacher. We're going to call her, we're going to call her, we're going to call her Miss Vicky. We just going to call her Miss Vicky. So he was like, oh, I hope I don't get this teacher, Miss Vicky. She hecka mean. All the kids don't like her. Like she's just one of them teachers like none of the kids wanted to have. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh, you know, Papa, you probably won't get her. Don't worry about it. You probably get a different teacher. Y'all, when we go do the registration and we look at the list of the teachers, why it was Miss Vicky. I'm like, okay, you know, everybody has different experience with their teacher. So I'm trying to tell Dylan like to keep his mind open. You know, he's a good kid. You know, he shouldn't have no trouble. I'm like, you should be good. You feel me? And if the teacher gets to doing too much, I come up there and handle Miss Vicky. So y'all, he in school for a little bit. Everything going cool. Let's just say little stuff had been happening, right? Like, okay, the first incident was, I think Dylan had fell asleep in class or something. So she reaches out to me through, it's this little platform called Class Dojo kids have in elementary. I don't know if they have that in other states, but here in California, they got this thing called Class Dojo where you can communicate with the teachers. They upload pictures. Just, you know, you can stay in touch. They post like homework. They let you know what your kids ain't doing, what they doing. Just a way to connect with the teachers instantly or, you know, quickly. So she was just letting me know Dylan was coming to school and he's been falling asleep in class. And, you know, can I work with him on, you know, maybe going to sleep earlier so he's not so tired in class. So I'm like, all right, cool. Then after that, little incidents start happening where like Dylan wasn't turning in his homework and stuff, and I was getting on him. I'm like, Dylan, you need to turn in your homework. You need to be doing your homework because your teacher tripping. And he was telling me like he was doing his homework, but she wasn't taking his homework, or she was saying it wasn't acceptable or whatever. So I'm reaching out to her. I'm like, well, Dylan is saying he's doing his work and he's turning it in. I'm seeing him doing his homework at home. So I'm confused, like, what's going on? She's just like, yeah, he is turning in the work, but he's not doing the assignments right. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not what you told me. You told me Dylan wasn't turning in his assignments. And so she was basically explaining to me like, oh yeah, I would tell him to go do it again and then he wouldn't bring it back or something. So I'm like, all right, you know, normal kid shit. So I'm talking to Dylan. I'm just like, you know, you got to do what your teacher asks you. If she tell you you did it wrong and she's giving you a chance to redo it. Like, why you not redoing it? If you need help, come to me, ask me. And he's just like, Mom, I am. She's just always picking on me. She's always saying something to me in class. Like, even when I'm not raising my hand, she always call on me. And she's just always picking on me. So I'm just thinking, like, you know how kids be. They just be exaggerating. So I'm just like, Munchie, I think you overthinking it. Y'all call my son Munchie. I call him all kind of stuff. But just so y'all know, I'm talking about Dylan, my son. If I say Munchie or Fat Man or Papa Bear, I'm talking about Dylan. So, yeah. So, I'm just like, Munchie, I think you're overthinking it. You know, just do the things your teacher asks you. I'll work with her, you know, just to ease the tension. So, let's just say a few months pass. I guess, let's see what had happened. Oh, Dylan's birthday was coming up, because as y'all know, Dylan's birthday is in December. So I was gonna go up there like I do all the time before COVID. You know, you could bring stuff up there for the kids for their birthday. I'm going running around getting hella stuff to take to his class or whatever. I get cupcakes, cake, make goodie bags, and bring juices and food and all kind of stuff, balloons and shit for Dylan to his school for his classroom. So I go in there and I do that, and it was like my first time really meeting a teacher, because I don't think I went to back to school night because I had work or something, or I couldn't make it, or I forgot. So when I met her, soon as I met her, y'all, I knew everything Dylan was saying was facts. Like, she was one of those teachers who was just like, everything got to be perfect. You gotta listen to her, just all that kind of stuff. Like, she just gave them like I would rather not be around you type vibe teachers. Like, she really strict, always nitpicking and shit, and always in your face type stuff. And that was one of the things Dylan was saying. He was like, she would always get in my face, and that she would be yelling at kids all in their face. And I'm like, well, is she yelling at you in your face? And at this particular time during at Dylan's birthday, he was like, she hasn't yelled at me in my face, but sometimes she'll get like really close to me and be all in my face. So I'm just like, okay. So yeah, I didn't get to like really talk to her about it, you know, when I had went up there, but I just got a feel for what kind of person she was, what kind of teacher she was. And, you know, I wasn't really feeling her fucking vibe either. I was just like, okay, I don't like this hoe either. So I know the shit my son telling me ain't no fucking lie. Now, don't get me wrong. Kids lie. They do exaggerate shit. But I just knew Dylan was exaggerating what the fuck was going on in his classroom. But then I would just be like, why the fuck is she in kids' faces? So I'm like, she better not get in your face and be yelling.
So why are you yelling at him, though?
Yelling?
Yelling. Why the fuck is you yelling at him? The fuck?
Matter of fact, she shouldn't even really be in your face. So after that little situation happened, I'm just like, okay, let me just see how things go. Winter break's about to come up. Let's just see how things go. So winter break come and go. Dylan gets back to class. I guess Dylan was talking to his friends. You know how kids do in class, just, you know, cutting up and shit. So I guess Dylan wasn't being quiet when she told him to be quiet. So he said she slammed on his desk and was like, you need to be quiet. Or no, you need to shut up. I think it was, you need to shut up. And, you know, he came home and told me, and I'm like, she did what? She did what? She did what? I'm like, hell no, she didn't. He was like, yeah, Mom. Like, she was yelling. She slammed her hands on my desk. He was like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to go back to her class. So I'm like, let me talk to her, because, bitch, no. You feel me? I'm the only one who can yell at my son. Shit, I don't even like when his daddy yelling at him. I be telling his daddy, hey, pipe it down a little bit. You got a little too much bass in your voice, a little too much dip on your motherfucking chest. You feel me? So I messaged her and I'm just like, hey, Dylan told me there was an incident in class, and there was some yelling and slamming on the desk. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And she was just like, yeah, Dylan wasn't listening, and you know, I had to get a little loud with him because he was talking over me with his friends, and he just was not behaving. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's not your place to yell at my child and get in his face and slamming shit. I don't give a shit, bitch. If Dylan acting up like that, send that little nigga to the office and y'all call me. and then I could get that shit settled right then and there. You feel me? But you don't do too much with my child. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It be badass kids, and I be seeing why sometimes these teachers be getting frustrated and be ready to snap on these motherfucking kids. I get it. I get it. I get it. I feel it. I feel it all in my spirit. I feel it, because if a motherfucker did that to me, I don't know. This is why I can't be a teacher though. So it's like you need to know what you can handle and what you can't. Don't become no fucking teacher and you ain't got no patience with these badass kids. Then that's just something you shouldn't be doing, or you need to work at a specific school where, you know, kids ain't acting like that, or I don't know. And so I was just like, you know, if, you know, I just said, you know, Dylan feels a little uncomfortable, you know, next time, can you just either send him to the office or call me when Dylan's not, you know, doing what he's supposed to be doing in class, because, you know, he feels uncomfortable. And she was just like, oh, you know, my apologies, I'm sorry, da 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 da. So I'm just like, yeah. So like another week or so passed, and Dylan come home, and he's just like, man, he's just complaining, just like, you know, she's just mean, she's always just nitpicking, she's just always just angry and upset. Like he was like, yeah, she be saying she tired of the class, like she tired of being a teacher, like just saying shit that like she shouldn't be fucking saying in front of the kids. You feel me? Mind you, this is motherfucking elementary. This ain't like middle school or high school kids. These are elementary ass kids, second grade. You feel me? You just huffing and puffing and shit all day, talk about how you want to quit and how you don't like this or like that, and just that kind of stuff. I just feel like as a teacher, you kind of got to hold that kind of shit in. These are little ass kids. Like, the fuck, they're going to be little ass kids. You feel me? Like, they're not comprehending that they're overwhelming you or stressing you out. They just being little ass kids. It's the second grade. Again, like I said. So I'm just like, all right, Munchie, you know, just bear with it. You feel me? Time flying. Eventually, you know, maybe she'll mellow out. Just do what you're supposed to do. So one day he come home again. He's just like, oh, my teacher moved my desk because I guess some girl had dropped some garbage on the floor, and the girl lied and said Dylan did it. And so when she had asked Dylan to pick it up, he was like, I'm not picking that up, I didn't do it, the girl next to me did it. And the girl was like, no, Dylan did it. So she kind of got like a little aggressive with Dylan and was like, no, you need to pick it up. And Dylan was just like, all right, whatever. So when he was telling me, he was just like, I just picked it up because like the way she was looking and like the way like she just came off like aggressive. Like basically he was telling me he got scared. Like if he didn't do it, she was gonna push up on him. So I'm just like, okay, Miss Ma'ams is doing too much. I'm trying to keep it cute and not go off on this motherfucking teacher, because I don't want to have to go up to this school and get motherfucking arrested because I gotta beat this bitch ass.
Y'all, I got to talking and got off subject about the teacher moving the desk. Okay, so basically when this little incident happened, Dylan was sent like towards the middle back of the classroom. After this situation happened, the teacher like switched the desk around in like this square type of shape, and she basically put Dylan's desk right in front of her, like hella close to her. When I had went for I think it was like a back to school night later on in the year, or like a parent teacher conference or something I had with her, y'all, his desk was literally right in front of her desk, like literally almost like touching her fucking desk. He had his desk so close to her, and I had asked her like, why is Dylan's desk so close to the front? Like the way she had I can't even describe it. It was just like, why is his desk so close to your desk? And she was just like, oh, I just want to be able to keep a close eye on him just to make sure he's staying on task and not being distracted. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why is you singling him out? Like, it just seems like you are extra picking on him. Like, he don't need to be sitting that fucking close to you. Mind you, I know it was other badass kids in that classroom, because I was cool with all the kids. Like, all the kids love me, y'all. And I know it was better kids in that class. And Dylan would be telling me about stuff going on in that class. So it was just like, why are you singling my kid out? Like, she was just a weirdo, y'all.
Like, what the fuck? Mind y'all, like she had some type of burn or something, I forget where, on her face. She had like this burn on her face, y'all. So she did look kind of creepy, but that's not why I didn't like her ass. You feel me? But so like the kids would be laughing at her and shit sometimes. But I told Dylan, don't be doing that shit in front of her. Don't do that shit. I don't know if he was or not. You know, kids do whatever they do when you're not around or whatever. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, you know, I reach out to her again. I'm like, hey, you know, Dylan told me it was another incident. And, you know, he said you made him feel uncomfortable. I'm just trying to figure out how can me and you and Dylan resolve whatever tension is going on, because my son is feeling uncomfortable. Like, it would just be days where just Dylan didn't want to go to school, and like he would like cry. Like, he was just like, I just feel hella uncomfortable. She's always picking on me, she's always calling on me and shit like that. So mind y'all, January had hit, and I don't think I was working, y'all, because I remember like not working at this particular time. So I don't know what happened. I think my job let me off for a little bit. So let's just say it's like a time had passed. It's like February, March, April-ish time. So this is when shit starting to hit the fan. So one day Dylan come home and he's like upset. Like, he's just hella mad. He looks hella sad. And I'm just like, Papa, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm already knowing, like, what this bitch didn't do now. I'm like, what she do now? Like, what happened? Or did something happen with your friends? Like, what happened? Is your teacher? Like, what's going on? He was just like, my teacher said, I need to do something with my hair. My hair is distracting. And she like grabbed my hair and was like, you need to do something with your hair. It's distracting. That hoe said what? That hoe said what? Bitch said what? So I'm infuriated. Like, I'm infuriated. Or is that the word? Or maybe I'm not saying it right. I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell. Just imagine you being an ethnic child, you wearing your hair naturally how it grows, big and curly, and a motherfucker is telling you you need to do your hair different because it's distracting. Distracting who? So I'm like, okay, I'm coming up there tomorrow. So I go up there tomorrow after school, and I'm just like to his teacher, I'm like, hey, can I talk to you? And she's like, yeah. I'm just like, you know, Dylan stepped off to the side. He was with his cousin. And they was just playing at the school or whatever. I was actually waiting for his mama to get there. So yeah. So I'm just like, we have a major issue. And she's just like, oh, well, what's going on? I said, well, Dylan came home and he told me that you told him that his hair was distracting and that he needed to do something with his hair, and you like grabbed or touched his hair. And she was like, yeah, I don't like that his hair is in his face all the time, and that he's always twirling and messing with his hair, and then all the other kids want to touch and play with Dylan's hair. Mind you, I would tell Dylan all the time not to be letting motherfuckers play in his hair, because I don't like that shit. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little should I even tell that? I'm gonna tell y'all a little reason why I have a thing with people and touching my son's hair. Like, I do not like when people touch my son's hair, and I be telling him all the time, just don't be letting everybody in your fucking hair and playing in your hair. Like, I get it, you know, he a kid, whatever, but that shit is off limits. I do not like motherfuckers playing and touching in my son's hair or putting their motherfucking heads too close to my kid head. Okay, period. Like, don't do that shit. Like, no, especially when you got them dirty ass hands. You know, kids dirty, they be just touching on everything, touching their hair, no. So she's just like, yeah, he's like I was just saying, he always messing with his hair. It's distracting, basically. And I was just like, well, that's just the way his hair grow. His hair naturally grows in a fro and it hang down in his face. I was just like, I don't think you should have told him that. If anything, you should have came and had a conversation with me first. Why the hell would you, I didn't say hell, I said, why would you tell a child that their hair is distracting and make them feel bad about how their hair naturally grows? Mind you, little Bobby, Lil Jake, Lil Brittany, Lil Kelly, they be having fucking bangs. They be having their hair in their face. They be twirling their hair. But that's not distracting. But because Dylan has big curly hair, that's distracting. Like, come on now. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. All these little girls up here who got the little bang. These little boys who got the little bang, little hair. The little, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm gonna insert some pictures of how these other little kids be having their hair, having hair in their face, having hair down. I'm just like, what the hell? I'm just like, I'm highly confused at the situation and why you thought it was inappropriate for you to tell that to my child. And she was like, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. You know, I just don't, you know, he's always just playing with his hair. And I feel like when he's doing that, he's not paying attention and his hair be in his face. And I don't think he's looking at I don't know when he's looking or, you know, paying attention to the board and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I get that. You know, we can, you know, work on that. But I'm just like, still, that's not something you tell a second grader, a little kid who loves his hair. You feel me? Like, I've never had any teacher ever say this before. You feel me? He did preschool, kindergarten, first grade. No, never had a problem. Never had a teacher complain about his hair. So I'm just like, well, that's just the way his hair naturally grows. I could try to get it out his face, but as far as him like playing with his hair, he's gonna play with his hair. All the kids that got hair is playing with their hair. I'm an adult and I play with my fucking hair. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? So I'm just like, okay, yeah, now I feel how Dylan feel. Like, you just fucking picking at my son. Like, you always got some motherfucking shit to say about my motherfucking kid. Now, I don't know if she doing that with other kids. I don't know. It ain't my motherfucking business. But she was doing that with other kids, like being hella annoying, but I just felt like she was just like hella egging it on with Dylan, because it's just like, bitch, what the fuck is you talking about? Now, mind y'all, Dylan's school is the race at Dylan's school is predominantly Latin. So it's a lot of Latin kids that go to his school. So it's not like a unethic school. It's a lot of the majority of the kids is Latin or black, and then it's a sprinkle of Indians and Samoans, Tongans, all that, and white kids, but it's predominantly Latin kids at the school. So and Latinos sometimes have curly hair too. So me and her is just kind of having this standoff, because I'm just like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you hear what the fuck I'm saying, because this is like my 4th, 5th time having a motherfucking conversation with you this school year about my kid. And I'm just like, I'm not fucking feeling it. And this right here, I'm not gonna say she was racist, but that was prejudice for you to fucking single him out about his hair. Then you're saying this shit in class in front of everybody. Like, you trying to embarrass my motherfucking son, bitch? You trying to make him feel some type of way? Like, that shit was really hurting my motherfucking spirit, y'all. Dylan would come home and just be sad as fuck. Like, he would just like not be in the mood. He would not want to go to school. Like, he just was not feeling it. Like, y'all don't understand how that can feel. Like, people who have kids, when your kids are unhappy, like, you feel that shit. That shit hurts when it's like, what can you do? What can I do? So I had put in a request to the principal. I'm just like, can my son's class be changed? Like, it's little incidents going on with his teacher. He feels uncomfortable. Like, can we change his class? Because this is not gonna work. So basically his principal was just like, all the classrooms are full, maybe later on we can maybe change his class. But if, we'll document everything that's going on. If something persists or something serious happen, we'll take action. And I'm just like, to me, bitch, y'all need to take action. Like, she just said some like prejudice ass shit. Like, I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if that's not prejudice. Because I just felt like I seen other kids in that motherfucking class who had motherfucking bang, who had hair, and I'm sure they playing with that shit. You feel me? Like, what the fuck? So that happened. I'm telling my mom, I'm telling Dylan's dad, because I'm just like, okay, I keep saying something to her. Oh, girl, not like, I don't know, like, she not understanding. So one day my mom go pick up Dylan. She holler at the teacher. She just telling her like, y'all, my mama, she got no fucking filter. She go up there. She like, I'm grandma. I'm Dylan's grandma, and I love my grandson, and when my grandson hurting, I'm hurting, and I don't like it. So she even had a conversation with her, and same thing, my mom was just like, I'm not feeling this teacher. Like, she just one of them bitchy ass bitches. But then she try to like, she like passive aggressive. She try to come off nice to a fucking dog, but it's just like, in a sense, it's just like she basically was saying, I said what I said. I said what I said. I'm sorry, y'all taking it that way, but I said what I said, and I mean what I mean. And my bad that y'all feel some type of way, but I said what I said. So I'm just like, all right, you feel me? Like, we just gonna hold on, and we just gonna wait to see if they can find my son another class before I have to beat this bitch ass. Because at this point, I'm ready to fight this hoe. Like, I'm really ready to fight this hoe. Y'all, next incident happened. Dylan come home. He's like, Mom, like, when can I get out of this class? And I'm just like, oh my God, what happened today? He was like, she snatched my pencil out my hand because she didn't like how I was writing something. I'm like, okay. Okay, baby. Okay, baby girl. You want to fight my kid. You want to fight my child. You got some type of fucking infatuation with him or something. And bitch, I don't like that shit. Like, you working my patience is thin. So I messaged her and I'm just like, Dylan told me it was another incident. He said you took his pencil out of his hand. And she was like, I was just trying to show him how to properly write whatever they was doing or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, you making him feel uncomfortable. I'm like, this has been occurring too many times. Like, I at this point, like I told her, I said, I already reported the shit to the principal. I'm already trying to get Dylan removed out of your class because you're making him feel uncomfortable. And I'm trying to keep my composure as a mom because that's my child. My job is to protect him and make him feel safe and make him feel comfortable. And I feel like I'm trying to work some shit out with you and you're not fucking helping the situation. Okay. And I just don't want to have to beat your ass and have to go to jail. You feel me? So what's gonna get through to this bitch? I'm just like, whatever. So I'm talking to Dylan dad. I'm telling him he mad. My bad. I mean, L will fight anybody. L don't care. L one of them dudes, like, he'll beat a bitch up, he'll beat a kid up, he'll beat a dog up, he'll beat a bird up. Like, he don't care. So he like, do I need to go up there and handle it? And I get on her, da 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 da. And I'm just like, I don't want y'all. I'm the calm parent out of me and L. You feel me? Like, L be ready to turn up, like, and I be able to calm him down, like, calm down, chill. So yeah, whatever. So I'm just like, okay, one more thing happened, then I feel like we should both go up there and put our foot down and have a conversation with her and the principal because the shit getting out of control. Dylan don't want to go to school. He missing hella school because, like, if my son feel uncomfortable, he don't want to motherfucking go. He not going. I don't want to be at work all day feeling my son pain. Like, so I was letting him miss hella school. Like, he missed hella school that year, but I would still make sure he did his homework and stuff and schoolwork at home. But I let him miss hella school, y'all. He at least missed 2 to 3 days a week sometimes because I was just not feeling it. And then his school was not trying to put him in another class. Like, the fuck, they had me and my son fucked up. So y'all, this was the last motherfucking straw. This was the last motherfucking straw, y'all. So mind y'all, was I coming to get Dylan that day? I was either coming to get Dylan that day and I told him to just start walking, or I just told him to come home. But usually at this time, I was picking Dylan up after school, and he had a scooter. He would ride his scooter or his bike home with his friends or whatever. Because like I said, y'all, we live right across the street from the school. So one day he getting out of class, he leaving. And I guess because the teacher didn't see me and Dylan tried to leave. Oh, before I get here, y'all, she was always complaining about Dylan being on his scooter and how he was riding his scooter on campus. I guess they couldn't ride their scooters until they got off the campus property or whatever. So she would always be tripping on him about him riding his scooter on school grounds or whatever. Whatever. Mind you, it would be times I would come up there and I would see other kids on their scooters. No one was saying nothing to them about it or pressing the kids like that. You feel me? They would just say, you know, like if the kids was doing too much, like trying to run into other kids, then they'd be like, hey, calm down or whatever. So Dylan would come home and he would be like, she would like hold his scooter, like hold it until he got off and made sure he walked and hella shit. So one day Dylan was riding his scooter, y'all. Why the fuck did she grab him and yank him off his scooter? Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me. Bitch, grab my son and pull him off his scooter. Now, mind you, I had to been walking up to the school that day or something because I felt like I came up there because I was just like, where's Dylan? Or Dylan called me and was like, can you tell her you said I could walk home by myself or some shit like that, y'all. I can't remember, but something like that either happened. Either I did eventually. No, I feel like I came up there. No, I think I was walking up there, but I was late or something. And Dylan had called me. He was just like, can you tell her you told me to walk, I could walk home? And I'm like, yeah, like he could walk home. Like, I'm meeting him halfway. So at this time, I didn't know what was going on. So I eventually meet with Dylan. I walk with him and y'all, he's just like looking like mad as hell. And I'm like, Papa, what's wrong? And he was like, she just grabbed me and snatched me off my scooter and she wasn't trying to let me leave. And she had me like this by my head, not letting me walk away. And I'm like, oh, bitch, y'all, like I walked up to that school so motherfucking fast. Why that bitch was not outside no more? Not, bitch, I instantly call up L like, nah, we need to both come up here and talk to Miss Mans because this bitch didn't put her motherfucking hands on Dylan and bitch, no, this hoe got our son all the way fucked up. So DJ like, oh, I'm about to be up there. I'm calling off where I'm about to be up there. So like a day or two passed, y'all. Dylan stay home. Me and L came up to that school. Oh, bitch, yeah, double team. We both going in on her. We like, nah, like, you don't ever put your hand on our kid again. L just like, I don't know what your issue is with my son, but baby, don't do it again. Don't do it again. He was just like, you know, my baby mom's been coming up here and she been saying she been having issues with you and Dylan and how this and da-da-da-da-da. And he was just like, you know, I'm his dad. He got a dad. And I don't like the stuff that I'm hearing. And I would just appreciate if you don't put your hands on my kid again. Like L is going in, like he clapping, he this, he that. And I'm just in the back like, yeah, get her ass. Because I've been telling this hoe. Don't quit fucking with my kid. Like, what, bitch, what's your problem? Mind y'all, I missed some shit. Like one day she tried to fucking hold Dylan hostage in her motherfucking class. I forgot to tell y'all. Intermission. We're gonna get back to this and how that went. Intermission. So one day, Dylan was supposed to go to his daycare because sometimes he was still going to daycare at this time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he would go to daycare a couple of times a week. And then, so like that. So one of the days he was going to his daycare, right? Dylan went back to his classroom to get something. Why this bitch fake held him hostage and was like, oh no, isn't your mom supposed to be picking you up? You can't leave, da da da. He was like, no, I need to go get back. I left something here and they told me to come back and get it before I got on the bus to go to my daycare. So somehow or another, the motherfucking daycare forgot, drove the fuck off without Dylan. Dylan held up hostage in this whole classroom. Like the school calling me, or no, the daycare calling me and was like, oh, Dylan went on the bus. Where Dylan? I'm like, what the fuck y'all mean? He should be with y'all. And they was like, no, he didn't get on the bus. He got off the bus and never got on the bus. And I was like, well, what the fuck you mean? So I'm calling the school. I'm like, where my child, the daycare is saying that Dylan ain't the fuck there. Where he at? Come to find out, they're like, he was in the classroom with his teacher. Like, she was confused. She didn't know if Dylan was supposed to get on the bus or wait for you. What the fuck? I get it. Protect our kids or whatever. But if Dylan told you he needed to go get on that motherfucking bus to go to his daycare, like, bitch, I'm confused. You could have just walked to the bus and verified that he was getting on the fucking bus to the daycare. I don't understand what this hoe was doing. Like, she was doing y'all don't understand how my motherfucking heart sank to my motherfucking tippy toes when they was telling me they couldn't motherfucking find my son. Y'all, I was panicking. I was freaking out. I don't know where I was. I don't think I was at home though. I was like somewhere, but y'all, I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. But I'm trying to stay calm. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to hurry up and leave. Matter of fact, I didn't even have a car at this time. I don't think I had a car. I think I had gotten a car. My truck, somebody had hit my truck. I had wrecked my truck. So I didn't even really have a car at this time. Yep, I didn't even have a car at this time. So I think I was with Dylan's, one of my cousins, and we was just out somewhere or whatever. So we all freaking out and shit. So finally they called me back, was like, oh, we found him, da 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 da, blah blah blah, the daycare gonna come back and pick him up. Yeah, because I'm going off on a motherfucking daycare too, because I'm like, why y'all didn't do a motherfucking head count and verify that Dylan was supposed to be on the bus? Y'all know these specific days Dylan's supposed to be on the bus at the daycare. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm going off on every motherfucking body. Like, y'all, like, that shit, oof. Look, that was a stressful year, y'all. That second grade year was so fucking stressful. Mind y'all, that wasn't the only motherfucking time they didn't know where my kid was. That happened again. That happened twice that motherfucking year. They didn't know where the fuck Dylan was. The other time he was in the nurse room or something. I don't know what happened. I think he needed a band-aid and he went to go, I don't know, some shit like that. But yeah. So back to what I was saying. So L is giving it to Miss Ma'ams, like, yeah, nah, we ain't tolerating that, and I don't want to have to come back up here. Basically, he was putting his foot down, and you could tell that bitch looked as scared as fuck. So I mean, L was in her face like, yeah, nah, nah, I ain't the one. Now, like, don't get me wrong, y'all. Like, bitch, I'll beat your ass, but I be trying to keep it cute. But L was not. He was firm. He wasn't doing too much, but he was doing enough. Like, he basically was like, girl, yeah, no, about my son, bitch, try me. So yeah, y'all, L, I get him that. He did his little daddy shit on that. He did his little daddy shit. I mean, me and L go through our shit or whatever, but for the most part, he a good dad. You feel me? Like, he going through shit in his life like everybody, you know, whatever. But he a good dad for the most part or whatever. So, yeah. L handled that shit. And, yeah, after that, for that rest of the year, like, Miss Ma'ams was on her motherfucking best behavior. I think, like, one more little incident had happened where she wasn't trying to let Dylan leave or something. She didn't like put his hands on him, but she wasn't trying to leave. She wasn't trying to let Dylan leave. I was walking up there at that time, and I had came just in time. She was like, oh, I didn't know if Dylan can leave. And I was just like, yeah, he could go. I told him he can meet me. And she was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, bitch, I didn't know I had to give you a breakdown of the schedule when Dylan can go home by himself or not. You don't do this with none of the other motherfucking kids. All the kids that lived in my apartments or in that neighborhood walked home with no problem. Like, why is I only see you doing this with my kid? Like, what? You trying to kidnap him or something? I don't know. Do you like him? Do you not like him? I was just so fucking confused. Like, I didn't know. Like, she was just so weirdo. But yeah, she was cool after that. She Dylan was smooth sailing from then. Like, he would say she would still do like little stupid shit in class and be yelling at the kids or whatever. But she watched what the fuck she was doing with Dylan and saying with him. She ain't try that shit again. She ain't try that motherfucking shit again. I promise y'all, every time she was, hi Dylan's mom. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Be on your best motherfucking behavior. But yeah, y'all, I wanted to tell y'all too at the end of this why I'm like motherfuckers touching my son hair, because y'all, you would think like, y'all, I used to think, now I get it, Dylan is mixed, Dylan is Nicaraguan. I said Nicaragüense last time, and somebody was like, girl, what the fuck is that? And I was like, girl, that's what the Nicaragüense girls say. They Nicaragüense. It's Nicaraguan. Okay, Nicaragua Okay, Nicaraguan, however you say it, and Filipino, and I'm black, French, and Choctaw Indian. Okay, so Dylan got all that up in him, but you know, he still got curly hair. Like, his hair isn't as thick as mine. He got a different curl pattern, but whatever. So y'all know that little myth, you know, black people can't get lice, black people can't get lice, black people can't get fucking lice. I mean, it's harder for us to get lice, but black people can't get lice. So at one particular time, Dylan did get lice, and he had got it from his dad, and his dad had got it from, I think, one of his cousins, because they was always, I don't know. I'm not gonna say Dylan's dad gave it to Dylan. I'm thinking the cousins gave it to both of them, because they was always playing in L and, oh, did I say his name? They was always playing in L and Dylan's hair, because L has like straight wavy hair, y'all. Like, you feel me? So they was always playing in Dylan's hair and L's hair. And one day they was both scratching their head, telling much. Y'all look in their head, they got lice. Y'all, I was itchy for a whole 2 months. Like a whole 2 months. They had it for like a month, y'all. I had to like comb all that shit out, olive oil their head every night, y'all, wash every fucking day. y'all, I didn't get it, y'all. I kept my hair tied the fuck up around them, but I was so fucking itchy, y'all. I would itch, and I would just be like, oh my god, do I got it, y'all. But I tried to stay calm as possible, because I didn't want them to freak out, because I'm freaking out, and they think like, oh my god, like, mom, like, she think it's weird. But yeah, y'all, it took me like a whole month or so to like get that out, and then still I was like, we was all traumatized after that. Like, every little thing, y'all, I kept that motherfucking hair oil down. Before, I wouldn't really put too much stuff in Dylan's hair. I put like a little conditioner in there and that. But now, no, I'll be making sure he got that Jamaican black castor oil, that thick oil. I put a little Jamaican black castor oil. See, this how I do Dylan hair, depending. I know people say you should put leave-in first, but sometimes it depends. I go back and forth. Sometimes I will put the Jamaican black castor oil, leave-in, and then the olive oil, or olive oil, leave-in, and then the Jamaican black castor oil, depending on how I feel like his hair feel. Or sometimes I will do the leave-in conditioner and then mix the Jamaican black castor oil, olive oil, and then seal it with that. So I faithfully do that to Dylan hair, because I'm just like, hell motherfucking on. And that's why I be on him like, don't be letting motherfuckers just be playing in your hair. Don't be putting your head next to everybody, because hell no. That shit was, y'all, like, that shit was crazy. Like, oh my god. Like, and everybody was like, you gonna have to cut their hair, you gonna have to cut their hair. And I'm just like, nah, like, I just sucked it up and took care of it, because I didn't want them to have to cut their hair. Like, but yeah, y'all, we got that all worked out. He ain't never had it or nothing like that since, or whatever, because like I said, I keep that hair all down. All down, you feel me? Dirty. That's why I don't even be watching his hair, like, dirty shit, the fuck. But yeah, yeah, y'all, that's the end of my story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time, and y'all tell me y'all thoughts down below. What do y'all think was up with this teacher? Do y'all think she was prejudiced? Do y'all think she was like obsessed with Dylan? Because it was kind of giving low-key obsessed with him. Oh, y'all, I forgot to mention, at one point she was even said some weird shit like, I adopt him one time, and I was just like, bitch, no you won't. The fuck? Like, she was like a weirdo, but it was just like she would pick at him, but then like she would try to fake be hella nice to him. Like, she would give Dylan like candy and shit all the time and stuff, like, and do little special shit for him. Oh, I forgot to mention another fucking incident. I forgot to mention another motherfucking incident. One day Dylan did something, and why he had him sitting on that motherfucking outside of his classroom on the ground. And for some reason I had popped up that particular day, and I'm like, why the fuck is Dylan outside the classroom sitting on the fucking ground? And he was like, oh, she put me out the classroom. She put me out the classroom and told me I had to sit here outside. And they wasn't outside, they was like in the building, but like he was sitting on the ground outside the classroom for hella long. And I had to I was like, hell no, like you should have just sent him to the principal office. Like, what the fuck is he doing so bad? Like, she was like really fucking irritating my spirit, y'all. That bitch, like, I'm telling you. And it was just like, bitch, it took for my mama to have to come up here and his daddy to come up here for you to be like, okay, let me chill out. And then the school was just like taking her side. Like, cause mind you, I'm complaining, I'm saying stuff, and they're like, oh, they justifying the shit she doing. I'm just like, the shit was irritating. Like, and don't get me wrong, Dylan had an awesome principal. I don't know what the situation was that year. And Dylan never had no other troubles at his school after that. Like, but yeah, y'all, that's the end of my story time. My lunch is over. I'm recording this on October 5th. Y'all are gonna see this October 6th, Friday, 2023. Today, or y'all, yesterday, y'all should have seen my life update. So y'all just keep me in y'all prayers. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that situation. As of this point right now, they still ain't found my fucking car. So whatever, hopefully they find it. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't never had my motherfucking car stolen. If y'all ever had y'all car stolen, tell me how that process go, or what happens or whatever. I'm working with my insurance or whatever, but you know, it is what it is, y'all. But yeah, I gotta get back to work. They blowing up my motherfucking phone. And I'm gonna see y'all in my next video. Tomorrow is Saturday. I don't know what I'm posting tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna post like I might post my try on haul part 1, part 2. I don't know how I'm gonna break this up, because the try on haul, the video ended up being 1 hour and 30 minutes, but I did talk for like 30 minutes about some shit. So I might make that its own whole video and then split the try on haul up in 2 parts. I don't know, y'all see, but y'all should see that probably starting Saturday, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all, I'm a vibe, you a vibe, we should vibe. So you should what? You should like, comment, share, and subscribe, but only if you want to. Only if you want to. Okay, if you watching, that's really all I appreciate. Everything else is extra, and I greatly appreciate that. Remember, we on the road to 5K. Once I get to 5K, I'm going to do the mini series of how I lost my virginity, and how I had an entanglement with him and his cousin, and how his cousin tried to set me up, and how all of that happened. So yeah, shout me out, but only if y'all want to. I'm not forcing y'all. I mean, eventually I'm gonna tell the story, you feel me? But this is just a little, you know, but I ain't telling y'all what to do. Eventually y'all gonna get the story time. You know, what if I never hit 5K? Who knows? I'ma still eventually tell the story time, but I'm just hoping I can hit 5K, and then I could do this series. So you feel me? Help your girl out if y'all want to. If not, y'all just watching. Really, I promise y'all, that's really all I appreciate. If y'all don't want to like, comment, share, and subscribe, but you watched, hey girl, hey, I fuck with you. You a vibe, you watched, you stayed all the way through. Even if you didn't stay all the way through, you had shit to do. I know I be starting videos sometimes, and then I be having shit to do, and then I forget to go back and watch it. I don't know. I appreciate everything. Deuces.